Hi everyone. Sorry I had a bit of a blip there. Don't know what I'm doing here. What's going on here? Are we live everywhere, I wonder? We are connected by the looks of it. Let's check we're on Facebook. Hi Bonnie. Bonnie! Shouldn't you be asleep? What are you doing up at this time in the day? My goodness. I had a bit of a blip. I pressed the wrong button. It's the story of my life. Are we? Let's just check. That looks a bit weird. I might delete that one. Oh dear, I don't know what I was playing at when I hit the wrong button. Give somebody a giggle. Let's hope everybody's found the one that is actually live. Let's get rid of that, see if we can delete it. Okay, let's get rid of that. I'll probably have to look elsewhere as well and make sure have a look on the Fairy Hugs website as well. Hi Archangel, yes. I saw you commented on the one that I had to abort because I messed one up. I got it all typed in and then hit the wrong button. That's a good start, isn't it? I'm not sure what YouTube did. YouTube was probably in a bit of a mess. Actually, I can't see the aborted attempt on the Fairy Hugs page, so maybe it didn't get that far. Yes, I don't think it did. I think we're all right. Okay. Hi Christine, morning Jean. See, I told you could watch on Facebook. It's not the end of the world if you can't get onto YouTube. I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube. Oh, there it is. YouTube is up and running. That's good. Okay, so we'll just put my laptop down so we know. Hi Sue, I did get your email, but I haven't had a chance to reply to you yet. Yes, I did have a look, but I can't see it, so because I did stop it quite quickly, so we'll be fine. Morning, Jeanette. Let's see how we're doing. So what we'll do is, while we're waiting for everybody to drop on, I'll just show you some samples if I can remember which buttons to flick. So it's really exciting. We're looking at the Magical Scenes collection from Fairy Hugs. And what's it doing now? I know that's you, Bonnie. I know you did the Fairy Hugs comment. It's fine. I knew that. I don't know what you're doing up at this time in the morning. So we're just waiting for people to jump on. So I'm just going to just scroll through a few samples very, very quickly because I do want to get to the demo. So the idea with the Magical Scenes collection is they are a group, and a lot of you will know this because some of you were at my workshop yesterday. It's as you can see from this one, it's a scene. That's one stamp. That middle bit is one stamp, and I'll show you the stamps in a minute. So it's a scene that's already made for you. So all you need to do is choose your paper or your background that you might have created, do a bit of stenciling if you want to, and stamp the stamp, and that's it. You know, add colour if you want to, but if you don't want to, as you can see from that, you don't have to. So all those stamps there, some of them have been resized, but they've been put into a scene for you. Any masking has been done for you. So you just ink it and go, and then it's up to you as to whether you want to add the little tiny sentiment scene as well, which are available separately. And you can do, like I say, you can do as much or as little as you want to, and it's just ready to go straight away. Now, for example, this one at the back there, that's the Endless Knowledge. That's all one stamp. So if you were buying those stamps individually, they might not be sized the same. So we'd have Alina there. There's 2 stampings of the stamp books. There's also the Path of Knowledge. There's the Book Flowers. I think the little owl's called Ollie. So just in there, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different stamps. So if you were to buy them individually, it would be more expensive. And obviously all the masking wouldn't be done, but obviously you can still do that if you want to, and you can expand the scenes out, and you see from some of the DT samples that you can expand them out as well. So I think it's a cracking collection. We're all very, very excited about this collection. As you can see, Art Angel and Alison are jumped on there, and they are telling you on Facebook how wonderful it is. Do lots of different things with it. Bonnie's made a key ring here with one of the smaller ones. Here, Swinging Delight, and you've got a window, and she's used extra clouds and extra mushrooms. Tags, you can just use a part of the stamp if you want to. This one, which is the Magical Night, is perfect for Christmas. There is the Woodland Family as well, which is great for Christmas. We're just scrolling through some samples here. That's one from Alison where she's expanded it out with the Book Flowers and put some little mini hairs on there as well. Use your backgrounds, use your embossing folders as well. Cut an aperture out of it. They are perfect for batch making, as Art Angel is saying on Facebook, because you can just stamp and go. And if you're using the enchantment paper pad with it as well, you can just kind of position your stamp on one of the papers and then just keep on putting a different paper in and just keep on stamping away. That's just one of the smaller stamps there, the Time for Tea, with some of the coffee and tea and coffee collection stamps behind it. Lots and lots that you can do. So there's some samples. I'll show you some other samples in a little while. So let's get to the stamps, shall we, and show you the stamps. I'm not sure how many people are watching yet, but we'll quickly go through the stamps. So there are 20 scene stamps, 20 stamps in all total, and then there's one 6x6 paper pad. There are 10 large scenes, which are roughly 4 1/4 inches in diameter. And there are 10 small ones, which are roughly 1 1/2 inches in diameter. So this is your Cupcake Wishes. Then we've got Dancing Joy, which is Misty there, the little fairy on that one. There's the Endless Knowledge that we were looking at before. This is Hydrangea Nightfall, I believe. This is Magical Journey, and you've got two dragons there. You've got Jasper at the front, and then you've got the flying dragon at the back. And then I know it's very difficult to see on the packaging, but that in the background is the gnome mansion, which has been shrunk down a lot inside. 6:13 a.m. You're bonkers, Bonnie. This is a lovely one. Again, great for Christmas because I want to say Iceland. I think it's Iceland. Her wings have got snowflakes in them, so it is great for Christmas. That's Magical Night. Then this is Seaside Living. Now the stream scene, which is the main part of this particular image, it's obviously been scaled down. It's one of the largest stamps, if not the largest stamps that Fairy Hugs do. And it's not been available for quite a long time, so I'm not sure if it's actually been discontinued. So this might be the only way that you'll be able to get this particular stamp from Fairy Hugs. But you've got elements from the mini world. So you've got little Maudibella flying in, and the little mushroom house, and one of the little mini trees. Morning, Angie. And you've also got the leafy canoe, which is one of the earlier images. So great seeing that one. Great for men's cards, that one, I think. Swinging Delight, this is one of my favourites. And you've also got Tealicious, which is one of the flower fairies. I think it's Freya's dogwood. And she's sitting on top of the stacked teacups there. And then this one is definitely, yesterday at my workshop we were talking about it, and we definitely think this is an ideal one for your Christmas cards, with the deer and the pine clusters and the meadow grass down the front there. Jean's doing poems. And then we go on to the smaller sentiments. So these are the ones that are smaller scenes. These are the sentiment scenes. These are 1.5 inches in diameter roughly. And you can obviously pair these up with the others if you want to. So this one will work well with the let me think, Swinging Delight. This is Hello Hydrangea, which is obviously going to work well with the Hydrangea Nightfall. This is the Joy Wings, which works with the Dancing Joy, if you want it to. We've got Midnight Wishes, which will work with Magical Journey. No, no, Magical Night. There's 2 magicals. So Magical Night. And this one will work. This is your Much Joy, which obviously will work with your Woodland family. Then we've got Sending Birthday Wishes, which I think has been paired up with the cupcake one. The cupcake, what's it called? Cupcake Wishes, that's the one. There's a lot to learn here. Then we've got Time for Tea, which is obviously going to team up with Tealicious. Treasure Quiet, which is going to team up with the Endless Knowledge. Dragon for You, which obviously is quite a standalone one, but we've teamed it up with the Seaside Living. And then we've got Dragon Steps, which works with the Magical Journey. And then we've got the Enchantment Paper Pad, and the Enchantment Paper Pad is a set of kind of they're like round jelly plate prints, inky prints, but they're on the lovely Fairy Hugs smooth paper, which is perfect for stamping your silhouette stamps onto. All of the new collection, including the paper pad, are available to pre-order now on my website, which is juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and in the UK you can only get it from me. There's no plan to put it on the TV at the moment at all, so you can only get it from me. I haven't got the stock yet, but what I'm doing is I'm taking pre-orders, and the stock should be with me by a week on Wednesday. And because you're needing to wait, I've given you a discount, so you need to enter code HUGS10 in capital letters in the discount code box at checkout. So once you get to checkout, there will be a box called discount code, and that's where you put it in. If you do not see your total adjusting, then you haven't put it in the right place. You don't put it in the note for your order, put it in the discount code box. I hope that makes sense. Any problems, get in touch, but please don't ask me to adjust it afterwards. It's very complicated to do that. Discount code box at checkout. And that offer is available until Sunday, the 10th of September at midnight. And I anticipate the pre-orders will go out in the order that they've been received from Wednesday the 13th of September. So that's why just a little offer, because they're exclusive to me. They are already available for shipping worldwide on fairyhugs.com, and you will see that the prices have been adjusted on there by 10% as well. But obviously, if you are in the UK, don't order from Fairy Hugs, because you're going to get shipping charges and import duties and maybe even a Royal Mail charge slapped on there. And remember, if you're in the UK, if you spend over £40, then you get free delivery from myself. So let's just have a look at a few more samples from the design team, and then we get on cracking on with this demo, just to show that you can expand things. So you can obviously just stamp the stamps as is and put them on one of the enchantment backing papers. And obviously this is one that Donna's done, and she's used one of the enchantment backing papers and just stamped it. She hasn't coloured in. She's like a lot of the ones I've done. She hasn't coloured in, and that's a lovely card. Just a matte and a layer. You're done. Okay. This one is by Karen, and it's the same stamp, but she's added some bubbles over the top. So you can do that. You can do that, and you can ink around the edges as well. So like on the very first one I showed you here, you can just ink around an aperture if you want to. You don't have to do things complicated. They're very good for quick and easy cards. So you can take it a step further. Donna's got this one here that she's done with the Magical Journey. Again, she's not coloured it in, and she's just cut out the Dragon Steps sentiment and added that on there as well. Again, on one of the enchantment backing papers. But you could also, she's done this one as well, you could also add some other stamps. So she's extended the pathway, she's also added the stone bridge, and she's added some of the sparkle dust and a couple of the sentiments as well. And then she's added some colour. So, you know, simple, not so simple. Easy peasy though. This one, look at this one. This one's incredible. So she's done some fussy cutting. So she's used the bigger stamps from the collection. I can't remember the name of that tree at the moment. It's escaping me. But obviously that's on the other side of your Swinging Delight. And she's used some mushrooms, and she's cut an aperture. And you can see the Magical Hollow die in there as well. Now, if you're after the Magical Hollow die, I did actually sell out of it at my workshop yesterday. But I'm taking pre-orders for that as well. So that will be dispatched from a week on Wednesday as well, if you want to add that to your basket. Lantern Tree, that's it. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Bonnie. I'm glad she's watching. So you can go further with that Magical Journey as well. So Karen's done one here where she's added lots of colour and lots of different stamps to give some foliage around the edge, like you're looking through the trees towards the gnome mansion in the distance there. Now, Art Angel was saying that the small stamps are perfect for decorating the back flats of your envelopes, which they absolutely are. And we're going to do something similar for that today. Hopefully we get round to it. But you can also, I mean, Art Angel's done this one where she's stamped them with added a little bit of colour and cut them out with postage stamp dies and added them to a card. I think that's lovely. A similar thing Jess has done as well, but she's actually created a journal page with her postage stamps here. So that works really well as well. Jess has also done some journal pages. So she's like here, she's got the Endless Journey, and she's used some of the other book collection stamps that are part of the not Endless Journey, Endless Knowledge. She's used some of the book flowers and the stat books and the Fairy Dictionary, plus the Once Upon sentiment to make it look like a page in a book. And I think that's tremendous. So you can actually, you know, change things up and make them keepsakes. Yes, Bonnie, the Fairy Hugs design team is awesome. Yes, and here's another one as well that Jess has done, bringing in Haku or Haiku, the dragon from the Fairy Tale collection, in the top left hand corner, again with the magical journey. And another page here, she does like that once upon sentiment, with the cupcake wishes, and again extended that design out. So you can absolutely do that. I do love this one as well from Art Angel, where she's used the sunflower stamp there as the main part and also the background, and brought in the little tiny Dragon for You sentiment stamp there. So that's really, really pretty. I really like that, Art Angel. And again, a focal point with one of the smaller images there, using some of the other stamps in the catalogue. Here, extending the magical night scene out with those jasper mushrooms, I believe they're called, and made a stepper card there with the smaller one. Have I got the stamp die, Julie? I think it looks like it might be. There's a Sue Wilson one similar to that, Angie. I'll email you afterwards. This is Much Joy. I love this one. Look at this one, just using one the Treasure Quiet with the book flowers, and I think that owl is called Oliver. Again from Alison. Use your different shape dies, and there are some dies coming up at some point this evening which will work very well with it, and I'll share pictures tomorrow with that one. Dancing Joy from Tracy. Here's another one from Bonnie where she's coloured in that Seaside Living. And here's another Seaside Living where Art Angels pulled the design out of the aperture. There are lots more that will be either shared or have been shared. If you go into Facebook, onto the Fairy Hugs store Facebook page, there is an album that you can find with lots and lots of inspiration from the design team. So do join that group or go and have a look at that page. Yeah, and get some inspiration. So anyway, should we press on and do some demos? I think that might be a good idea. Oh, hang on. We can't yet. There's something else I forgot to do. We just talk amongst yourselves. You can look at that beautiful thing from Art Angel. Oh, I'm so out of practice. I'm so tired after yesterday. I haven't set my camera up. Oh dear. Let's hope that we're on the same. I don't want to do that. Let's have a look. Let's hope we're on the same network. I don't know what network I'm on. Hang on a minute. Share this device. Share this camera. Oh, right. Hang on a sec. Talk amongst yourselves. I think I'm on a different network to my iPad. Let's go on the other Wi-Fi. Let's see if it finds it now. Come on. I'll be alright by this afternoon. Why is it not letting me share it? Maybe it's not on that one. Hang on a sec. There we are. Just being temperamental. It was in the right place at the first place. Oh, technology. There's a crow. That's not me, that is the crow. See if we can get it straight. There we go, that'll do. There we are. had a brain. Oh dear. Yes, as Bonnie said on Facebook, we'd love to see your designs, because there are so many people out there with Fairy Hug stamps and other Fairy Hugs products, and we do like to see them, but you hardly ever share, which is very disappointing, really. So we're a very nice group and we are very supportive, so we do actually like to see them. Right, let's crack on. Right, so we're already nearly 25 minutes in. Right, so this is the enchantment paper pad. As I said, we've got perfect size circles. You can actually use tumble shine as well, but some of the circles are a different size to the stamps, but some of them do work. You can see I've been right at this. I've used loads of them, but it's that lovely cardstock that's nice and easy to stamp on for your silhouettes, and 6x6, 24 sheets as always, double-sided, 24 designs, 2 sheets of each, 216 GSM, and they are $9.99 with 10% off, dollars to pounds on both sides, both sites. So we're using a paper from that. Put that to one side. Just put it there. And let's get my bits out. Right, so we're going to start off by doing some inking around the edges here. And I have my Fairy Snowflakes stencil, and I don't think I've got many left, but I will order some more when I place my order. And when I'm doing apertures, I've been using the Sentimentally Yours debossed double stitch circles, and that fits near or less perfect on the top here, so I'm using that as my mask. Let's grab a brush. So we're going to do a little bit of stenciling. It doesn't matter if it's not 100%. Obviously I can't see underneath it. You can cut the die, you could cut it out of acetate, and then you'll be able to see where you're going. And then we're just going to pop the snowflakes over the top, and we're going with Broken China Distress ink, because all my brushes have got distress ink on them rather than oxide. At least they had up until yesterday. I'm sure they still have. It might be a different blue that comes out actually, because you know it's just a blue brush, but it'll be fine. If you're nervous, you can tape it down, but it'd be, you know, I don't stress too much over this. If there's a bit of a shadow, I'm not too bothered either, because it means that snowflakes are just fluttering down. I think that'll do. There we go. I'm going to take this off, and we've got a lovely little surround for my circle. Yes, it is quite, I was tempted to use this as a background actually, especially when it had just the pebbles on it. But then I thought I'll just use one to death, as you do. Right, okay, hopefully that's clean. And I'm also going to actually, while I'm at it, while I've got the ink out, I'm just going to have a little bit of the ink around a circle. So this is again one of those debossed double stitch circles from Sentimentally Yours, which you will also find on my website, and they've got a 10% off at the moment automatically. So just giving it a little bit of a tint, and we'll go just around the edge of the paper as well, just to give it a tint, so that it's not a harsh drop off the line or drop off the page. Then actually the next workshop I'm doing in Fareham is actually a winter and Christmas themed workshop. I'm saying winter themed because not everybody likes Christmas, but lots of people do like Christmas, so it's both. And so a couple of the magical scenes which are, I think, Christmas themed will be available to use at that workshop. Imagine how quick you can do Christmas cards if you've got something like this. Sometimes, while I've been making some of the samples, I felt like I've been cheating because they've been very simple because the stamp does all the work. But had I have masked everything off and done everything, then I'd have thought, oh, I've taken ages making that. If I'd have done all this, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stamp sets on there, obviously resized. You couldn't get onto YouTube. I wonder what's happening with YouTube. It's probably me. I probably messed it up. It did look like it was going. It's probably that aborted little session I had. Right, my slidey mat, as always. It's a good idea to use a stamping platform. These are big stamps, so they come with all the trappings of what big stamps do. Let's do it that way because that's the way I inked it. Magnets right in front of me. Don't know if I'll be able to do all of these magnets, but we'll see. And I'm going to do what Bonnie suggested because I've had some bad stamping days. I'm going to just have some... Oh, look! Where's that come from? Oh, my goodness me. Right, we can fix that. That's where my sentiment's going to go. I bet that's on the back of a magnet. I'm not going to mention any names, but somebody else borrowed this yesterday. That's all I'm saying. She knows who she is. That's not on my fingers. I haven't even touched any black ink yet. That's where the sentiment's going. We can always fix it. Right, okay. Right, I am going to put a little bit of low tack tape on here. Yeah, so if you miss anything, if you want to watch back, you can watch back on YouTube. So I think watching back on YouTube is easier. And I agree, there's normally more people watching on Facebook, so you get more interaction, I think. Right, I don't think we can't use that one. Let's see, you want to make sure that your fairy and your tree is straight rather than on the wonk. That's the only thing I would say. And you need to figure out whether you want to have, I'm going to have the mushrooms right on the edge, I think. Like that. So you can see that the mushrooms are just coming round the circle there. So that's how we're going to have it. Oh, that's where that sentiment's going to go. Well, it's going to go there. That's what's going to happen. Just get over it, Julia. Right. Now, hopefully, we're all butted up. So it's like I say, it's a big stamp. So it is a good idea, because of air bubbles, it is a good idea once you positioned it to pull it off and to roll it back on to your stamping platform. It's also a good idea when you do your first stamping with the new stamps is to actually stamp it onto a piece of scrap card or not scrap card, but watercolour card or white card or any other card, so that you get used to stamping it and you don't ruin a piece of your nice lovely paper. I mean, it's double-sided, so on some of them I've had to turn them over when I've made a mess because I haven't always practiced what I've preached, as always. Lots of inking, VersaFine Clear obviously. Hi Tracy. Give it a good old press. I know I'll have to probably stamp it a second time, especially until you get to know where the sweet spots of your stamp are. there's normally, especially with the big stamp, there's normally an area where you need to pay a little bit more attention. So, and they're always very, very sticky to begin with before you've used them. Actually, that's pretty good. See, I've got a sweet spot there. It doesn't like that bit. I've probably got an air bubble still there. Yes, better. And there's a sweet spot there as well. Okay. Right, give it a bit more ink, because that Silhouette Fairy, I wanted to be perfect. Or as perfect as it could be. It's always a little bit of a, has it moved, has it moved, but I'm sure it'll be fine. She says with confidence. Okay. Still not happy with my trees. Give them another press. That's better. We're ignoring that black mark because we're going to deal with that in a minute. But isn't that pretty? So very pretty. What's she got on her there? Hang on a minute. I don't think that should be there. I think that's a bit of something or other from a stamp. I don't, that mark's not supposed to be there. Let's just fix that. That's better. Okay. So that's our magical night. Oh, I wish there wasn't two magicals. Magical night, that one. Do be careful because they're very sticky when they're new, and you don't want to rip them. They are harder to rip when they're cut out in a circle, because there's no kind of ins and outs of the actual stamp. So let's pop this back on its carrier sheet. I have a lot of stamps to go through from yesterday. A lot of them are a bit messed up, but they had a lovely time, so that's worth it. Right, where should I put that now? Put that over there. Right, so that's all the stamping I'm doing on there. I'm not going to colour in. We're going nice and quick. Let's take that off there a minute. We're going to stamp our sentiment. Let's get a bit of kitchen roll. And sentiments, I'm doing this because the sentiment's very small and I've already done my die cutting. Obviously you could die cut second. Just be careful that your ink isn't really wet, because it'll transfer to your stamping platform plates. I normally put a piece of paper over the top. So we're going to pop where are we? Here we are. I'm just reading Art Angel's comment. Do read what the design team is saying, because it's very useful. Right, I've got my glue's bungled now. Would you believe? Never bungs. Where's mine? I took a pin yesterday. Oh, I think it's the heat. It's very hot here at the moment. We're in a second summer, aren't we? And it's not very pleasant. There's a pin. I just want a a little swirl of glue on the back to keep it in place. And then we're going to position our Moonlight Wishes, which is the little sentiment stamp, and that's going to go around the bottom there like that. It's always easier to stamp a smaller stamp, always. Some very noisy people outside. Come here. Let's just check that's in the right position. Yes. And we go again with that Midnight Blue, Ursuline Clear. Don't always have to stamp in black. I thought the blue would be nice because of the paper that we're using from the Enchantment paper pad. Should be good with this straight away, hopefully. Yep, looks good to me. I'll show you in a sec. The whole release is wonderful. Very excited for this release. I can't wait to see what people do actually with it. Oh, I know what we're going to do actually. I've got a stamp here and I was going to do something else with it. Right, so there's our little sentiment. Ooh. Really lovely. Actually, we'll need to take this out. Okay. I'm going to stay in here, but I'm not going to use my magnets, I think. Is that wise? Just use the magnets. Just use the magnets, Julia. Right, I thought we'd extend it out, actually. Just a little bit. So these are the Forest Furs from the Fairy Tale collection. And you can see these are the furs that have been used on our, our scene. So if they come closer, they're going to be bigger, aren't they? So we could have one about there, maybe. And we could have one of these perhaps coming here. Like that. Can't be in the edge because we're coming off of the paper a little bit. Which could be a pain in the proverbial. Is it worth trying to cover up that dirty mark, I wonder? Yes, let's do that. Right, I want you to stay put and I want you to behave. We'll see. If nothing else, you'll get the idea. Because these stamps are such good quality photopolymer, I'm not worried about any ink that I get on my platform because I'm a very messy stamp. Oh, move the magnet. Give a good old press. It's like putting a butterfly on it. Stick a fir tree on it instead. So obviously this is optional. You absolutely don't have to extend the scenes if you don't want to. All the work's been done in the stamps. And I like that. I really do like that. And I think also what it means is that if you're not confident about building scenes, you've got it all there, all done for you. But if you want to extend it, you absolutely can. So I think there's just something for everybody within the collection. Come, up you come. Yes. You can't see that smudge. Yeah. I'm I'm very happy about that. I can't live with dirty marks or shadowed stamping. It just was a bit of a disaster yesterday when I was demoing because it moved, and well, it just shows that it happens to everybody. So you just have to trim it down or put something else on to hide it, you know. There is always a fix. Sometimes you have to think about the fix because it doesn't always, the brain doesn't always do what you want it to and tell you the fix straight away. Okay, so there we go. That's an extended stamp. So we now put this onto our card. Don't like blobs. So I'm putting it onto, I've used these quite a bit actually on my square cards. This is a new mat as well, which is driving me around the twist because it's bent. This is the Stitched Torn Squares from Sentimentally Yours. So we've got stitching detail on the edge as well, and it just sets things off nicely. Obviously this might be a bit wet. Oh, that's not glue, Julia, that's water. Oh dear. I think I need cake or something. Oh dear. It's not even 12 o'clock. Right, try not to smudge that. Stand up so we can see and get that straight. We've already inked around the edges, which is a win-win. Of course, I might not have trimmed it straight because I'm not very good at trimming straight. That looks pretty good. Okay, and I think we'll grab, what have I got? Have I got any foam tape? We'll put some 1mm foam tape on the back, I think, and then it's going to be raised just a fraction, but not a lot. Just makes it a little bit more special when you put a bit of foam tape on it. And the finished card, I believe, is 6 3/4 inches square. So we go on to a 7x7 card blank. You can trim down the enchantment paper a little bit more if you want to. Like I say, you don't have to extend the edge, and then you could end up with a smaller card. I actually like ice cream for breakfast. That's very nice as well. Ice cream and cake for breakfast. Very nice. Straight. And then we're going to add our sentiment. So I've got a stitch torn circle here to put my sentiment on. So it kind of marries up. Stop reaching for the blinking water. I'm never going to glue anything with water, am I? What on earth am I on? If only I had a brain. So you don't need to colour in. I think it's nice to add a bit of ink around the edge, but you absolutely don't need to colour in, which I think is, some people just don't like colouring in. Sometimes I need to be in the mood to do it. We're going to put it down there. I think we might. Let's put that on a couple of bits of foam tape as well. I'll put that. Shall we hide that bit there? Let's do that. Let's have a make a. You want your words straight if you can. There we go. And then in the corners, because I'm addicted to these. We're going to add some Creative Expressions water crystals. And these are, you get 120 in a pack, and they're 4, 5 and 8mm clear glass domes, I suppose. So they will, I'll get one out, let's look. They will kind of accentuate things. So if you wanted to kind of, I don't know, accentuate his nose, you could do. Not that I will do. I'm going to put one in 3 corners. Pie for breakfast. Is that oh, you mean fruit pie? I actually like cold pizza for breakfast as well. That's very nice. You know, if you've had a big pizza the night before and there's some left over, that's very nice. So let's add just a blob of glue, and this will dry clear, so you'll be able to see through it. And then we'll use our pearly pickup tool. Just manipulate the wax a wee bit. And then we can just pop that in place. I've got 2 other demos. One's very quick and one's a bit longer, so we'll see how we get on. See that these are straight. Pretty straight to me. There we go, there's our first one. Cool, isn't it? That's somebody reversing that ping, 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 ping. Right, so we've done that one. Let's put that to one side. And don't forget that everything is available from my website for shipping to UK addresses. That's the wrong box, Julie. Which box am I after? It's there in front of me. Shipping to UK addresses is a pre-order because stock is due in next week. And there's 10% off if you put Hugs10 in the discount code box at checkout. And it's also available at fairyhugs, no, not that one, fairyhugs.com, and there's already 10% discount on the prices there as well. Right, we're going to do a tag because I want to. I like doing tags, and this is one of the Sentimentally Yours, not that one, for heaven's sake, Julia, the crescent top layering tags. And this is one of my Distress Oxide backgrounds, and there is a video on YouTube that shows you how to do that, and the ladies that attended my workshop yesterday know how to do that anyway. So we're going to just add a little bit of a design on the back here. We are going to use the Cupcake Wishes stamp on this tag because you don't have to use the whole thing, you can just use a section of it. So we're going to ink with saltwater taffy. Ed hair in there. Why is Ed got hairs in my Distress ink? Right. Cat, it gets everywhere. Don't need that. We need this. So this is the Party Streamers stencil. So we're going to have a little bit of that going on. In fact, if we have it like that, we can cover the whole thing. Stop it, you're making me hungry. Stop talking about food. This is quite a subtle colour, but we can still see it in the background. We don't want it to be really poppy. And again, it's Distress ink rather than Distress Oxide. The background is the oxide sprays, but it's already oxidised, so it's, I say, safe to stamp on. It's always safe to stamp on, but I like it to be nice and even with the ink, and you don't get like duller areas of the ink if you use stamp on top of Distress ink. So that's our saltwater taffy through Party Streamers. Then we're going to go into, is this dirty? Then we're going to go into our stamping platform. And we're going to bring that piece of kitchen roll back again. Yesterday everybody was using stickles, or a lot of people were using stickles on their makes, and they looked absolutely fantastic. As soon as I get hold of photographs from Jamie, who's the owner of the Maker's House where I do the workshops, and from Catherine, my daughter, then I'll share them. I didn't take photos, I leave it to them because they take better photos than I do. So just going to put the PVA on the back there, so because the stamp's going to come off of the page. So we're going to have Cupcake Wishes, and I want to have it so that it's kind of like that, but I don't think I want the butterfly on it. Or do I want the butterfly? Maybe I'll have it like that. Yeah, I will have the butterfly on it. Yes, I will. See, choices. Choices. And these are the Magical Flutters, I think they're called. There's a butterfly and a dragonfly. I've got them somewhere. Did I put them somewhere else? Here they are. We're going to be using them in the next demo. So you can see that butterfly has been reduced in size, but you get musical flutters, not magical, because they've got notes in their wings, and there's a dragonfly as well. We're going to use that in the next demo. Right, so this is going in here. I've got a horrible feeling this is going to move, but we'll see. I'll cope with it, it'll be all right. It's always easier to position them once they're dirty. And we will ink around the edges, so the fact that the cupcakes don't go right down below won't matter. We want the fairy to sit nice and straight. So we can add magnets, just a few. I don't think can I get one down there? I can. Right, that'll help. And then pick it up. Are we going to make it sparkling? What, the tag? Probably not. It's more about stamping really and showing you the potential rather than doing any sort of colouring in. I might add it afterwards. I don't want the blue. I think I'm going to go for brown on this one. So we're going to go Pine Cone versus Fine Clair. And we're on this side of the stamp. I'm not sure how far over we're going. It feels a bit dry. Excuse me while I re-ink it. Pine Cone. So you will find all the re-inkers on my website. When you re-ink, you don't need to use the whole one of these. You just do a little bit. So I've just done like a scribble of it. And we just need to wait for it to settle in. So while we're doing that, should we look at some more samples again? Just giving you some more ideas of what we're using. So actually, let's pull in the Cupcake Wishes. So that's one of mine, just stamped as it is. Let's see if we can find another Cupcake Wishes, because I haven't pulled in all of the design team samples. There's the one from Jess that's a journal page. Is that all we've got here? Is that all I've pulled in? Oh, apologise. That's all I've pulled in from that one. That's pretty rubbish of me, isn't it? Anyway, the ink's all settled in now. You can see that settled in. Oh, show you. That's all settled in now. So we're good to go again. Jean, I don't know what you're talking about painting the screen for. I don't really understand that. Nice and inky. And then let's see how we get on with this. I might not have inked far enough over. It's always a good idea to ink the whole thing just in case. I think that one I'm going to miss. Now this is watercolour card. This is the super smooth watercolour card from Sentimentally Yours, which does suck the ink up. So when you're stamping any of these stamps, sometimes 2 times isn't enough, sometimes you need to go 3 times. So you need to just have that mindset and know that you need to do that when you're using watercolour card. There's nothing wrong with the stamp, there's not necessarily anything wrong with the ink, but you just need to be prepared to stamp it a couple of times. She's pretty good, she's pretty good, but I'm going to go again because I want it darker. I was alright with that stamp, that cupcake on the edge. So obviously, like I say, if you want to extend this one out, you can use the cupcake flowers, and you can add some more butterflies as well if you want to, and the musical flutters. Give it a good press. So sometimes I think when you're giving, say, a book as a gift, it's nice to give it a tag for a bookmark as well. So you could actually make the card with the whole of the stamp, and then you've got a tag that's going to coordinate with that. Okay, she's a bit darker. So she's good, and then all we're going to do is add a sentiment. So it's really quick and easy. I was saying yesterday that I think that tags are great because they're like, especially if you don't know what you're doing, or or you're struggling with your makes, making a tag is like a snapshot, and for me it's a bit more useful than an ATC, which is the little playing card sized things that people tend to swap. There's nothing against that because you can learn a lot from that. But I think tags are my favourite, especially when you've got good dies from Mr. M to use. So we're just going to use birthday wishes. And this just says a birthday wish for you. I've got a story about this stamp actually. I was going to use it on, I think I used it on the Cupcake Wishes card that I made, and I got the stamp out, I positioned it where I wanted it, and then I got distracted and went to do something else, and I couldn't find it. Hunted and hunted and hunted, could not find that stamp for the life of me. So I pulled another one out of stock, and I just positioned it in my stamping platform, and I thought, hang on a minute, that feels a bit weird. And then I found the stamp underneath my board here, but it's too late. I'd already opened the package, and so I couldn't put this one back in stock. So I've got 2 of these now. That's been my week. Last week. This week's a new week, but with the mess I made starting the video off, obviously it's going to be like last week. Oh, looking like the Scream. What Scream? I don't know what a Scream is. A famous painting called Scream. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know what that is. Right, so there's our tag. With a bit of kitchen roll on the back, which is fine because it doesn't matter. It's so thin that it's not going to hurt anything. Just helps to keep it in place. Let's put the top on that ink pad before I make a mess. We like gift tags in our family. So that's that. And then what we're going to do is just move that out of the way. And we're going to take the saltwater taffy again. This time we're going to go for our oxide because it's got a nice chalky finish to it. I don't want to make a mess of my stamped image. So I'm just going to ink around the edge, and this will give us a nice coordinating chalky edge to it. And it just finishes it off before we pop it onto the backer. Again, no need to colour in if you don't want to. Let's bring that in a bit on the edge there. You can also, if you want to, stamp first and then cut your tag out second. I do prefer to do it this way. So that's just got a bit of an edge to it now. It just finishes it off. Let's tidy up. Now I can use water. Not the camera. Is that the first time I've done it? I can't remember. I always have to do it at least once. And now this will go on our backer piece. And then I just add a bit of baker's twine, and then this is good to go. Don't overdo it with the glue. Fits around nicely. I never got it straight first off. Careful of the edges so you don't get a paper cut. And there we go, there's our tag. Really easy to do, but again you don't have to use the whole thing. And I have got a couple of tags that I did. There's one there with the endless knowledge, and then there's a dinky little one that's with the treasure quiet. What did I do with the other one I did? Okie dokie. Right, let's get on to the third one, because the third one is a bit different. Okay. This time we're going to make a DL card. So, what do we have? We have some circles. These have been cut with the debossed double stitch circles from Sentiment of Yours, and then I've got just a double deboss circle out of, I'll show you, circles. So debossed double stitch circles, and then double deboss circles for the black. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. There's your double deboss line. That's all right, Christine. Subtitles are a nightmare, aren't they? So we've got 3 of those, so we're going to do kind of a triptych, and then we've got the Sentiment of Yours inverted double deboss DL dies and the regular double deboss DL dies, and they're going to go on the front of a DL card. Proper card openers and everything. Let's do our circles first. So we need another piece of kitchen roll, because they're little circles. We're going to use one of the small stamps. Not doing too badly. I reckon we'd be about an hour and a half. It does take a while to go through all the stamps as well. But you can see we've already done 2, and I think we were 25 minutes in before we started. So they are very quick to work with. And what colour should we do? What colour did I say I was going to stamp in? I did not say. So I think we will go, I think we will stay with the pine cone. Oh no, we won't, because we're doing black cards. So we go for Nocturne, wherever I put it. Where did I put it? We haven't used Nocturne yet, have we? VersaFine Clairs live permanently on my desk because I love them. Oh, let's ink first, because it's always easier to add a little bit of ink first. So I think what we're going to do is, we're going to do them in Broken China again. Where's my blue one? There it is. Let's do all the inking at once. Dirty fingers. So Broken China, Distress ink. Just going to pop some around the edge. And then do all three. I do not like this matte. It looks awful, doesn't it, with the ripples on it? Just I didn't have time to clean all the ones from yesterday. And I put the one from my desk into the workshop to be used as well. Right, so there's our 3 circles. And we're also going to ink the top part of this with the blue as well. So it's going to be like a sky. It's a lot slower to ink with the brush. It's a bit more subtle. The idea is that you take your time and build it up, but we haven't got time for that. Okay, I'll do there, I think. And then we're going to go into green. So we're going to pull in peel paint. Again, my brush might not be 100% peel paint, but it'll be green. That's all that's important. It looks peel painty, actually. So this is meant to be the ground, or the grass, if you like. Just the bottom area. So just a little bit more. Okay, that'll do. That's all the inking for now. There will be a little bit more later. Excuse me. Just have a drink. That's all right, Karen. You can always watch back from the beginning. Okie dokie. Right. Now we go into that stamping platform. And we'll do one circle at a time. Build it up slowly. Get a bit of PVA in the back, just to keep it in place. That's the theory anyway. And the little stamp we're going to use is is it that one? Why have I got that one in here? I don't know why that one's in here. This is the one I'm going to use. The Sending Birthday Wishes, which has got the musical flutter, 2 of them, 2 of the butterflies. Again, these are smaller than the ones that are on Cupcake Wishes. And then these flowers are the fantasy flowers. All the sentiments are new sentiments, but everything else is resized. So we're going to have this in the centre of this. It doesn't matter whether it's straight or not, because we can sort that out afterwards. Now, this stamp hasn't been used before, so it'd be very sticky. See if we can pick it up without moving it. If you don't press too hard when you pick it up, then it's it won't bring the card with it. So Nocturne we're on with this, because our mats are black. Even though it's a new stamp, it should work perfectly, because they're not dense images, and it's a small stamp, so it should be absolutely fine. In Australia, what time is it in Australia, Karen? It's just gone 7 for Bonnie where she is. Are you still away, Bonnie? There's a little, oh, let's see if I can get it to you. The detail's incredible, absolutely. See if you can go closer. Absolutely incredible. Okay, so that's one of our circles. Let's fetch that off. We try not to smudge it while I'm fetching it off. Again, it doesn't matter if we tear the kitchen roll. Okay. And then we get, so that one's going to go in the middle of our set of circles. 9:19 p.m. Oh, that's not so bad. It's not as bad. I don't think that's as bad as being in the middle of the middle of the night or early morning, is it? So I suppose it's your winter. Is it your spring? Coming into spring? Okay, so that's that one. Then we're gonna marry that up, because of the little musical flutters that we've got on there. We're gonna marry that up with these two here as well. And I'm thinking, although they're both butterflies on there, I'm thinking I might want a butterfly and a dragonfly. So that's what we're going to do. So we could probably stamp them at the same time. Let's pop the circles on here again. So I'm just doing this, Karen, so that they don't move, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get my magnets on. So this was part of the music and dance release. So let's just pop him on there. So he'll be on the left. And this one just about fits in. And this is the third, I believe it's the third size up in the circles. Let's just carefully pick them up so that hopefully I don't grab the circles. That one is. Come on, there we go. It flies around. Bonnie's given you the link, Karen, for a store in Australia where you can get fairy hugs. In the UK, just to remind everybody, these stamps are exclusive to me in the UK. So there's no TV date for the foreseeable future with them. And there's 10% off pre-orders of the new collection until midnight on Sunday. And you need to put code HUGS, H-U-G-S, 10 in the discount code box at checkout, and that will activate your discount, and you'll see the amount that you need to pay adjusted. And that offer is valid until midnight on Sunday the 10th of September, and I'm anticipating, I stress anticipating, being able to dispatch orders from Wednesday the 13th of September. So obviously they have to come over to me from the USA. Right, let's see how these are. Good. They look great, don't they? Okay, so that's our stamping there. Then we're going to stamp a little bit on the bottom piece as well to kind of bring it in line with that sentiment stamp that we're using. Again, these are musical flutters, which you'll find on my website and on the Fairy Hugs website. That's those. Let's just get this. Come on, up you come. Sometimes the card rips as well, but it's on the back, you won't see it. It is strong PVA. So you don't want to put much glue on the back. Right, let's get rid of this. I am going to stay in my platform, I think, for now. So I'm thinking that these are the fantasy flowers that are on the small sentiment. You can see that they're the same stamps. So I'm thinking we're going to bring some of those in the bottom. So let's get rid of these magnets. I'm going to only using the platform so I can use the mat. In fact, I could take that out of there, couldn't I? That might be easier. Let's use the mat out. It's a white mat in this particular stamping platform. Goodness knows why. Right, let's have it at an angle because that's how I work best. And let's have some. What stamp did it have? It has that one, that one. Okay. Again, sticking with the black. Thank you, Bonnie. You're so on it. You're so on it. She's a good egg. Right. So we're just going to stamp some of these higgledy-piggledy. Try not to overthink it. Where they go over the edge, it won't be perfect because of the deboss detail in the die. But we're not going to worry about that too much. Just the height a little bit. Some of it will be lost because obviously I'm not planning around where the dies are going, but that's fine. It will look more natural. Let's have one going there, I think. I'm going to swap to the kind of round headed one. I suddenly thought, oh, I've put them on the right side. I haven't put them on the blue side. It would be typical me that to put them on the blue side. Do I want the big one or do I want the small one? No, I'll go with the big one. And with these, you can manipulate, because it's quite thin, you can actually manipulate where you want the stems to go. So you can do all sorts with them, really. I'll do that. I've used these for ages. This is stamp number 32. And we're at, what are we at? We're at 600 and odd, aren't we? 660, I think we're at. So it's quite a long time ago. Let's have it here. That's a really pretty flower. I like that. I don't know why I'm so surprised because I know what I like. And we'll have I think we have a tiny one down here, so we don't lose it too much. And we'll have one in there like that. I think that'll do actually. Quite happy with that. so those are your fantasy flowers. As I say, they marry up perfectly with that sending birthday wishes stamp, because it's just the same stamp that's been resized. Then I also thought that it might look a little bit, I mean, we're going to put backers on it, but it might look a little bit better if we actually have something hanging maybe from the top, because it looks a little bit blank at the top, doesn't it? So I might change my mind once I've done it, but it's too late then, isn't it? So I think we will change colour though. We'll go to, we'll have a bit of Shady Lane because we're dealing with foliage. And one of my all-time favourite sets is Leafy Scrolls. And you get 2 sizes of the same leaf in this set, and this is number 62. There's quite a lot of foliage stamps which are really lovely. We go for the bigger one because then we'll cover the area quicker. This is one of the Sentimentally Yours blocks, so you can see the SY on the little that's etched in there. So I think we'll just have it running over the top there. Not sure that's completely on there, but we'll just go with it now. Probably won't use that bit of the stamp anyway. So let's have it coming there. It's always a good idea to go off of the page. And we just have one little bit coming in the corner as well, so it goes all the way across. Did I do that side? I don't know if I did that side. I can't remember. It's been about 2 seconds since I did it. Okay, so then we've got our foliage going around the top there. Okay, so there is something else that we were going to do too. Let's put the lid on that before we construct, because we are almost ready to construct. Oh, I know why I wanted that now. I know why I wanted that stamp. Yeah, I planned all this on Friday, so, you know, I've been to bed a couple of times since then, so I forgot what I meant to do. Okay, right, let's get that dragon for you again. Where is it gone? It is. Right. We'll go back into the platform again. In a minute. Yet. So here's my card blank. So just like our Angel set on an envelope, you can actually do this on the back of the card as well. So when you're cutting your circles out, occasionally, if you've got just a scrap of card like this, instead of actually making the most of the scrap of the card, give yourself a bigger aperture. So we can go roughly in the centre-ish. Might not be in the centre, but I'm not going to measure it. And then we can take, let's go for the blue. Broken China. And ink through the aperture that we've created. You could even add a stencil. Should we do that? We could do that. Where's the stencil? I've only got the fairy one though, haven't I? The snowflakes. problem is I haven't unpacked my stencil since yesterday. We won't see very much of it, so let's see which one should we have. We only want a small one. Let's have this one. This one's called Fairy Florals. So if we pop that on there and give it more ink, it will only be very subtle, but it should be darker where the stencil is. There we go. So now we're going to stamp our sentiment in here. So I'll have to have the platform this way around. I think I'll go in that way. I'll have to do it this way. Stuck to magnets stick to anything metal. Remember, I want it to be this way up though. This mat is driving me nuts. It's nice with that stencil, doesn't it? So we're going to have Dragon for You, which is the little dragonfly and the sunflower. Now, obviously, because we're going on the back of a card, we want the actual sentiment to be straight. So think about that. How many different angles can I do this at? So let's give that an inking. Get it right first time. I think that big dragonfly is called Cedric, and he's quite large in his single form. There we go. Obviously, if you hadn't stenciled, it would be more prominent, but I just thought it might be quite nice just to show you how you can stencil through an aperture that you've made yourself as well. And yeah, I hope you're making notes so that you can do these things in the next workshop. Right, let's construct now. So we've got our Dragon for You on the back. So we've got this. And we've got this. Just be careful because that ink is still wet. And I like the little indentation that you've got in the DL dies because it means that you can put a pearl or something in the corner. See if I can get this straight without smudging it. I think it's straightish. It's only ever going to be ish. And then we get our circles and put our 3 circles on. And We've already inked around the edges. You could bring in the oxide if you wanted to, give you a chalky finish. But we've just gone around the edge with, in this case, Broken China Distress ink. It's quite hard actually to see black card. See if you're doing things straight. Or in this case with an equal frame. This is one of your musical flutters. So I am doing another video at another live demo at 3 o'clock. Hopefully you can join me for that. And we'll be doing 3 more different demos. I'll try and load some more of the design team samples so you can look at some different ones. There's just so many this time because there's actually the social media design team that have been working with them. So that's 4 ladies. That's Karen, Alison, Tracy and Donna. And then the Create and Craft design team, which is Art Angel and Jess and myself. Obviously it's not on Create and Craft, but we've all had the stamps as well. So there's 7 of us in the UK. And then Bonnie in the States has them as well. So, and then you will find that from next week, the USA design team, social media design team will have them too. So there'll be loads and loads of inspiration. And as I said, the Facebook group that you want to join is called Fairy Hugs Store. And loads and loads of inspiration. And there is an album on there with a lot of the DT samples in there already. I think there's already over 40. Some of them have shared what they've made so far. So this is going to go on the front. Proper card and everything, it opens. Get that. Anybody that knows me knows I don't do this. Look at that, and it's on, it got on the back. So smart. Okay, so we're going to now put our circles on. So let's get a little bit of foam tape on the back. Again, I'm just going to go for the 1mm because I don't want to have it too raised up. Yeah, see you later, Bunny. It would be nice on the back of an envelope. I've done it because to show you how you could do the back of the envelope as well, to add you a little bit of colour. That's why I've done it. So yes. So let's see where these are going to go first. So we're going to have the dragonfly on the left, we're going to have the butterfly on the right, and then we're going to have the sending birthday wishes in the middle. So let's make sure we've got the position as we like them before we start sticking things, with an equal gap everywhere. I think that looks pretty good. So we could put the middle one in first. Let's actually put a bit of PVA on the back just in case I need to move it. Stand up so you can see. Okay, we're going to commit with that. Again, put PVA on the back of this one. Let's commit with that one. My stomach's rumbling. I'm really sorry. All that talk about cake and all the other things, pie and pizza and... And it is nearly lunchtime here. Let's see if that's straight. It's very hard to see whether these are lined up. Let's commit with that. Okay. So I'll probably just add a pearl of some sort in the corner, or I could just add those little water crystals again. I might do. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, so then it's finished. But we might go for a smaller one, or we might not. It's just a perfect area to add a gem of some sort into. I thought you'd gone. Valerie, I haven't got your actual address, so do you want to email me with your address to send your pre-order, or would you like me to send your pre-order to Sandy's house? Maybe you could let me know. Obviously don't put your email on Facebook. I'm trying to figure out what size I want of these lovely water crystals. 5mm, that would be perfect. Except it's stuck to that. Come here. There's 3. Right, let's have a 5. Because then it will fit nicely. So remember, in this pack you get 5, 4 and 8mm. And they're a bit cloudy at the moment because obviously the PVA is still wet. When the PVA is dry, they'll go clear. There we go. So that was finished too. So I do hope you've enjoyed that. Just to recap, the new Magical Scenes collection is available on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, for shipping to UK addresses, and in the UK I am the only place you can get them. You can't find them on the TV or any other website, it's just me. It's pre-order, and because it's a pre-order and you need to wait, I'm giving you 10% discount with Hugs10 in the discount code box at checkout, and you'll see your total adjusted and then it's worked properly. If it hasn't adjusted, then it means you've not put it in the right box. What else do I need to tell you? Yes. So the pre-order is valid until midnight and Sunday the 10th, and I'm anticipating that I'll be able to send the products out to you from Wednesday the 13th of September. Also, it's available at fairyhugs.com for worldwide shipping. Obviously, if you're in the UK, don't order from Fairy Hugs, because you'll end up with shipping charges and maybe import charges and maybe Royal Mail charges, so you don't want to pay that. So order them from me and just wait a little while. Yes, so the discount is already applied on the fairyhugs.com website. But just to recap, on mine, you need to put that code in there until Sunday. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll be back at 3 PM with some more demos. And if you've missed it, or if you want to watch anything back when you get your stamps, then you can watch over on my YouTube channel, Julia Watts Crafts. So I will see you at 3.